Welcome to our 7th annual Indigent Defense Workshop. We've got a wonderful program lined up. So without further ado, what I would like to do is turn the program over to the chairman of our board, the Honorable Sharon Keller. At times, as far as staff, we carry out the policy that's set by the board. And at times, and I'm sure a number of y'all have served on boards and things of that nature, and at times your board members are sometimes figureheads, and they're not very active. What I can say is Judge Keller is one of our hardest working members, and also we're very blessed because she's a very gifted and talented writer. So when we send things, they come back much, much better. So I would like to welcome the Honorable Sharon Keller.
Thank you, Jim. Welcome. I'm glad you all could make it this morning. I don't know if any of you have been here before, but the task force staff does a fantastic job in putting together these programs, and I especially want to thank Terry Tuttle, and one of our new staff members, Dominic Gonzalez, has helped Terry this time too, and he also has put in a lot of time preparing for this program. I'm really glad you all could make it here. I want to spend just a minute of my time talking to you about a program that has been developed by the Office of Court Administration called the AR system, or the Automated Registry System. I don't know if you're familiar with this, but I wanted to take this opportunity to tell you about it because it's a fantastic program, and it's been developed over the last couple of years, and we're trying to get the information out to the court systems about this program. It was funded by the legislature in 2007, and what it does is there's a handout actually in your packet, and it provides judges with real-time access to various state databases. It started out as a program that would allow judges access to the public mental health database, and Reynolds, who I will introduce in a moment, was able to get a lot of state agencies to participate. So now the kind of information that you can get if you do a query is not just criminal information. You can find out about a person's state and national criminal history, any state or national warrants, concealed handgun licenses, state driver's history, vehicle registration, sex offender alerts, probation violations, protection order status, fugitive alerts, violent gang or terrorist alerts, and threats to law enforcement alerts. So this is kind of, I don't know if I mentioned, but we think of it as kind of one-stop shopping, especially for matters such as pretrial release or PSIs. And if you're interested in this, please take a look at your handout, and you can call Thomas Sullivan at the Office of Court Administration. I encourage you to take a look at this because it really is a wonderful program, and I think you will appreciate it once you take a look at it. Now, I will introduce the next speaker, who's Carl Reynolds. Carl is the Administrative Director of the Office of Court Administration and the Executive Director of the Texas Judicial Council. He also has done a fantastic job over the past few years, and we are so happy that he is in the court system. Carl?
Well, thank you, Judge Keller, for that kind introduction and for the plug for Automated Registry. I had not thought of mentioning that, and I'm very glad you did, and I will not have to. And I'm glad that you have information about AR in your packets. It falls to me to welcome you to Austin on behalf of the Judicial Council and OCA. As Judge Keller mentioned, these are the parent organizations for the Task Force on Indigent Defense and its staff, and we're so proud to have that fine entity associated with our office. I think it redounds to both of our benefits, and it's great to have them. I have such a great job. Last week, Judge Dubose from Uvalde and I helped Texas host a national summit on child protection, an event not unlike this, except that we had chief justices and my counterparts and people and judges involved in child protection cases from all over the country, working as you will work for the next 2 days to improve the way that justice is delivered in that context, in the cases where children are abused or neglected and removed from their homes, and there's an effort to either reunite them with their families or place them in a safe and permanent environment. So another very compelling subject matter. Laura Claversma here from the National Center for State Courts. The National Center was very involved with us in planning and co-sponsoring that event. So it's just, for me, it sort of bookends my delight at my job that I get to work on such great issues week after week with OCA and with the Judicial Council. So I wanted to. Jim said that I would elaborate more on on our special feature of this year's workshop. And Jim, when you said it was the 7th annual, I had not realized that this has happened 7 years in a row. This is such a great event, and you all are really going to get a lot out of it. And this year, even more than in previous years, because, as Jim mentioned, we have American University and NLADA and the Bureau of Justice Assistance helping us by presenting to you a workshop on case management techniques, which I think will really nicely round out the information from within Texas that you're going to glean from some of your sister jurisdictions. So it's really going to be terrific, I think, to add that to the program. Jim said I would elaborate on that. I'm not really going to. He also told me in private that I had to take whatever amount of time that he spoke and divide it by 7 so that I would know how much to speak. So I think that gave me 43 seconds. So thank you, Jim, for that. It's now my pleasure to introduce Marianne Wiley from the Office of the Governor. Marianne is, I think, a Deputy General Counsel, Assistant General Counsel, something along those lines. I won't say too much about Marianne except to let you know that Marianne and I have known each other for many, many years. She and I worked together. I guess Marianne was a staff attorney when John Bradley and I were young baby lawyers and were briefing attorneys for the Court of Criminal Appeals way back in the distant past. And so we've known each other for many years, and this is the first time I've ever gotten to speak ahead of Marianne in a meeting because she usually gets out in front of me. So Marianne, thank you.
Yes, the rule has been invoked on our prior knowledge of each other. It always has to be. We were both young once, especially me. You still may qualify and stuff. I'm here to welcome you on behalf of Governor Perry to Austin and also to praise you all on your work. It's essential for the state. We've got to do better. You all really have taken huge strides in trying to get a better system, an efficient system, a just system across the state, but still allowing it to be how you kind of want to do it locally. What I'm trying to say is I don't see it as the state saying you must follow exactly this. There is a little bit of wiggle room. Now, me saying that I think we've made great strides. I think you're going to continue, but we are miles from where we need to go. And I think all of you know that. You all need to probably do more. Without question, the state needs to do more. And I'm more on the fiscal side when I'm saying that. But as we continue to think how we can do this better and dream some, what can we really do? Don't isolate yourself just to the idea of indigent defense. You can do things in your counties that do make sure people are getting qualified lawyers. Those lawyers are getting paid. They are getting the tools that they need. But there's other ways that we can try to make the system better, and that is for pretrial diversion programs. Does everybody really have to go to court? Some, yes. Please, I'm not trying to talk about we start having picnics in the park for everybody that gets arrested or something. But there's a lot of money saving there. There really is. Those programs cost, but you won't have people locked up in your county jail. That's going to save you some money. You won't be contracting with that next county over to handle your flow. The more efficient you get, the faster you will be able to move people through the system. That also will save you money. And I'm not talking fast being a lack of representation. But start thinking, how does indigent defense fit within other pieces of your local criminal justice system? Now, that's about all I'm going to say about it. But they're all connected. If we're looking for funds from the state, local, we've all got to, okay, money does not grow on trees. What can we do here that frees up money to go there? And I know, especially the local governments, you've been doing that big time for a long time. But this last year, in the budgets and the demands that you all have had, with sales tax revenue being down and a whole lot of things, it's really hitting you. So we've got to really be creative as to where we can pool this together. It may be regional public defenders, good things being worked on here. But keep it up. This has been one of the most positive things that has gone on in state government for a long time. And I know that it's a hassle in some ways for you all, but I'm serious. It is really one of the most positive things, and a lot of it has to do with the task force and the staff. I think they're there to help and not there to drive you nuts. Some of you might disagree, but I think generally that's where we are. Thanks for coming.